And hello to all my Cancer friends. I would like to welcome you in. My name is Scott Sagent, and today I'll be doing your free psychic tarot reading for March 2022. Now today they've dialed up for you a four-corner spread. It looks at the four main areas that people usually ask about in tarot, which is your work, which is your finance, your love corner, always a popular one there, as well as your health corner. It's a good spread for general readings because it brushes over all of those categories. So we're going to get into that. They've asked that I conclude your reading with an angel protection card. Just one card, just a little extra oomph, probably to talk about one of your corners, but not necessarily. They can kind of go wherever they want with that. So that's what we're going to end your reading with. Let's get into it right now. We'll waste no more time. The cards are already shuffled. I do that ahead of time to save time. What I'm going to do now is bring you in so you can watch. Go ahead and hit the like button if you're ready to have a great March. Record. Okay, we're on. What I'm doing now, I like to do on camera, live. These are my ritual cuts. Basically cuts the deck into three different pieces, puts them back together in a separate order. Then they're ready to go. Do that with both decks here. That's the same procedure for personal private readings. Then they're ready to go. So up here is work. Here's your work corner. Short and sweet. Are we on camera? We are. Over here is love. Completely blocked. Down here is finance. And then down here is health. Okay. Count my inverts here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of 10 cards. That's not enough to matter, so it's going to be good to be read the way that it is. I just need one red card here and oracle card because that's a major theme, and that happens to be your love corner. So make sure everything's in view. I think we're good. That's going to be it. So again, over here is work. Down here is finance. Over here is love. And then at the bottom is your health. Now let's get to work. Let's do it, Cancer. Okay, I'm going to go work and finance because they're quick and they're kind of the simplest corners for my Cancers in the month of March. Let's start with work. Work is mostly business as usual for my Cancers. There's not a lot of stuff going on here for most of you. They bring up little small stick fights or getting over disagreements. This is on the other side of the hill here. So you're moving beyond whatever kind of little flare-ups you've had in your work corner. It's very good. Things kind of smoothing it out, really. It could be actual like confrontation with other people. This could be more like work projects getting wrapped up or things getting closure on and stuff like that, or whatever you're trying to do in your work corner, really, because your work corner is big. Work, business, enterprise, area of study, learning new things. So it's kind of overcoming difficulties. So the month of March presents itself much better. Now I do have the Two of Cups there. It's an interesting card to pop up in your work corner because it's a very romantic card. It doesn't mean that specifically they're talking about a romance at work. It is very prevalent here. I'm just going to be honest, Cancer. I have to give it to you guys kind of like all the definitions of a general reading. That's kind of what happens when we have all this Cancer energy, muddling it up, so to speak. It's hard to get very specific about this. So let me give you the different things it can mean. For some of you, this is very romantic possibilities or relationships at work, kind of getting a little progressed here. Okay, this can also be spending more time with one person at work. Take the love part out of it altogether. This could just be two entities spending more time together. It could be like if you have to train somebody at work, you got to train the new employee, right? Well, now you guys are spending a lot of time together. That's the energy of what they're talking about here. Maybe it's the other way around. Maybe you're starting a new job and somebody's going to be spending more time training you or something like that. It could be even business partners working together a lot this month in March, Cancer, okay? So it's two different people, two different entities. It does not have to be romantic. It certainly can be. And if there is something going on romantic at work, let's just say that they didn't say anything bad about it. Okay, so there we go. There's your work corner. Now moving down into your finance. Something really's got to get sold here for a lot of my cancers. A lot of you guys have just something that I don't think you're necessarily holding on to it for too long, but maybe you could do something better with this money that it's worth. So I don't know if there's like, they didn't come out and say that there's emotional attachment. It's what makes me feel like it's emotional attachment. So just to be clear, those are my words, not spirits. But they talk about theft and loss here is involved with this. So just it's almost like, I don't want to say you ripping somebody off, but don't be too high on your price here. I think that's kind of the direction they're going with this. Whatever is going on in your financial corner, something you need to sell. Let's say, for example, you got to sell the car, and it's the time to do it. It's time to move the car. It would be like you thinking it's worth 10 grand, even though it's really like not. And let's say it's worth 85, something like that. And you're just starting way too high. You're not necessarily trying to rip somebody off, but you're just way off here, okay? So really, do right by other people here, whatever it is that they're talking about financially here. It can be the selling of something. It's usually the most common way that this goes. And, if it's something that you're not attached to the price point of, this might be stuff that you guys just need to let go. Maybe you've been expecting to get money for, selling like an old hobby of yours. Let's say like baseball cards, right? Let's say you have an old collection of some form that you're like, oh, I'm going to sell the whole thing for like $500. Well, maybe you won't find somebody who's going to pay $500 for it. Or maybe you just need to let it go for $100. Or maybe you just need to donate it and let it go, to a good cause or an auction or something like that. So that's kind of the energy of what's going on financially for a lot of my cancers. So it's something that could be repurposed, be used for something better, or maybe just you could use some of the money or the space for something better. Before I get into your health and your love, I do want to talk about the moon cycles. I like to give you guys the moon cycle forecast every single month. Lets you know what's coming, when the best time to bring stuff in is. Now that's going to happen on March 2. That is the new moon energy. That's the best time to bring anything brand new into your life. Let's say you're one of these cancers that has a work romance going on, bringing something new into your life. Very much better placed in the beginning of March. If you wait toward the middle or the end, it can happen, but a little harder. It's easier to walk downhill than it is to walk up. It's easier to swim with the current than against it. So these are how the moon energies, their moon cycles, I should say, ebb and flow. Adversely, we have the full moon energy that comes in on March 18th, anywhere toward the middle to the third, even a little bit into the fourth week of March. It's the best time to get anything out of your life. We talked about that selling here in your financial corner, or even, they're telling me for some of you, this is moving accounts or moving money from one account to another. That's something I didn't mention earlier, but they're bringing it, they're rushing me with it now. So there you go with that. For some of you. For the rest of you, we're going back to the original message. But whatever this is, this happens much better under the full moon energy. That's why we're talking about this at this time. Getting the timing right for this stuff is perfect, guys. So let's go back to the car example real quick. Let's say you're planning on getting rid of the car. I wouldn't do that right here at the beginning of March 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No. That's new moon energy. That's when you want to bring something in. That's a better time to buy something new. Start a new health program. Get a new job. All these things that are brand new into your life, much better placed at the beginning of the month. That full moon energy, that's the best time to get it out. So if you're trying to sell that car, you could kind of plan for it now. It helps you get the timing right so that, you can start figuring it out, what you're going to sell it for, the ad you're going to write, the pictures, taking the pictures, cleaning it up, making it look all pretty and all that stuff. You can do that now and kind of pull the trigger on it right toward the middle of the month. So there's your moon cycles for you guys. Now, also, I put together a moon cycle cheat sheet. It's just a visual aid to help you guys with this, help you better understand when you can bring things in, what you can push out, all these things. Because the pushing out part, that can be people, that can be habits, emotional baggage. It doesn't matter what it is. Anything you're bringing in or out can fall under these moon cycles. I put together that little sheet to help you guys out with that. It's absolutely free. All you have to do is be signed up for the newsletter to get it. Now, if you're already signed up for the newsletter, you don't have to do anything. It's coming with the newsletter itself. Now, if you're not signed up for the newsletter, no problem. sign up for it. It's free. It's at the very bottom of my website. You scroll to the very bottom. You enter like your first name, your email address, a couple little things there. Send it off, and I'll send you back your moon cycle cheat sheet. And that's a guide that'll help you through the next, basically through June, through half of the year. So there you go. Take advantage of that. Let's get into your health. Health and love. We're going to wrap up with love. Save the best for last, right? All right, so health. A lot of you are doing this juggling act between health and another corner of your life is affecting this. For some of you, it's just busy family life or, busy work life, any of those things, even, financial stressors going on that are affecting your health. They don't want you to do that. They don't want any of these corners of your life to get too intertwined, too muddled up. I mean, in a negative way, of course. If it's a positive way, no issue. But when this comes up, they show me that you're doing a really good job handling it, regardless of how difficult the juggling can be. And when this comes up for March, it's letting me know that this is still going to be a thing. So just be aware of that. Be aware that they don't want, you to lose too much sleep. Health is a big part of, sleep is a big part of health. That can come up a lot here. So if you're, working crazy hours, the kids get you up early and then you work all day and then you come home and do it all again and you're not getting enough sleep and all these things, they don't want it to affect your health. So do what you got to do to kind of mitigate the month of March. They're letting you know that these challenges are going to be here. So it's your job to surmount them. Next, they show the Empress card. So this is feminine health. That's kind of like, it's turned, I'd like it to be the other way a little bit more. It's the lack of birth, a lack of feminine energy. We need more things feminine here. We need more feminine flow coming in your health corner. So an example of, getting into something like that, something soft energy. This is very much like yoga or breath work or, doing something that affects your health in a positive way, like maybe a hobby can come up too. Gardening is one of the softer hobbies that comes to mind first, but I gave you a couple other examples there too. So we have kind of like, it could be other things feminine too. The Empress card is a very hard card to read in tarot, especially in general readings when we have a lot of you Cancers tuning in. But just know that this feminine energy is flipped and we would like it to turn around and kind of be more in the productive feminine definition pool, if you will. Very hard card to read. They do give me the Lover's card here, so a lot of you are doing things with your lover here in health. Now this could be specific about doing something new, could be doing something that maybe you've already started and now you're going to bring them in on it with you. Like let's say you already started dieting or exercising or something like that, or doing whatever to adjust your health or to improve your health. You're bringing them in later, or vice versa. Maybe it's something they've already done and you're seeing, hey, they've done a pretty good job with that. I'm going to jump on that train. I want to get in on that, right? So that's what's going on here. They're pushing that very strongly. This is good for not just not my Cancers who are in a relationship. If you're single, it's still the energy of two different people doing something together here for health, toward a purpose, toward a goal. Okay, so that's very good opportunity here for March to do that. And if that's something brand new, that falls into the new moon. Go back to those moon cycles. Let's get into your love here, guys. The love corner is completely blocked. They did want it read that way. It's very interesting. They do show that a lot of you are almost like too focused here, almost tunnel visioned or occupied or preoccupied with somebody, with something, with someone. Could be your relationship partner if you're single, could be somebody you're interested in, could be somebody you're hanging out with, something like that. There's almost like an overwhelming, too much is going on right here. They almost want you to kind of spread this out a little bit. And I don't mean like cut it off. I mean just, don't spend all of your time with this one person. It's very much one person or one direction that this energy is going. It's almost better spent or better placed lightening up a little bit here. It's just a little too heavy, a little too strong, a little too rugged, a little too intense right now. So a little bit backing off the energy a little bit here. Let's say you're in a relationship, you're married, you're coupled up, doesn't matter where you're at. Let's say that, for example, March could just be a time where you just, you spend a little bit more time by yourself, doing more things that you want to do. It's not a bad thing. whatsoever, necessarily. Now, some of you could interpret this like a bad thing, but I wouldn't. It just means, it's time for you to work on yourself a little bit, or maybe time to give them a break, or maybe you're the one that needs a break, right? So that's what they show. Now, there is something coming in. They bring in either money or health coming in blocked here in your love corner. It almost makes me feel like the message we just gave you for health. Now, this can also be money, but, well, let me give it to you both ways. Again, general reading, right? If this is a financial blockage here, this can be opened up as new money. That goes back to what we talked about in the finance thing about selling something. This money can be better used for other things. They want you to, consider that. Consider the family. Consider these other things that it can be used for. Almost make a plan, budgeting, all that kind of stuff. How you can affect the family, how you can better the family unit, even close friends for some of you. Some of you are either being helped by close friends or helping close friends. They also show time to really go on the offensive here in your love corner. Really time to go after it. So it's an interesting message because they say go after it, but not in an overwhelming way. Remember, we started with kind of that overburdening, smothering energy. They say go after it, so they don't want you to back completely off. It's kind of like the example I gave you, just take a step back. You don't have to withdraw 50%, 60%, 40%. Maybe just this is like a 10%, just back up a little bit, not a lot, just back up a little bit. So that way you're still going after it, right? You're still chasing the rabbit. You're still going after what you're trying to get after here, the goal, whatever you're doing in your love corner. But don't overburden yourself with it. Don't chase somebody good away either, because you're being too strong or whatever with it. So they want you to go after it, but just in a tasteful, sparse kind of way. At least in March, that's what they show. They do show building blocks too. So this is actually this is something that it makes me feel like they just don't want you to screw this up. This is just something that they're looking ahead on the timeline. They're seeing that this is something that person A that we're reading for could really mess up with person B. And they have some good stuff going on here. Maybe it's not forever, maybe it is. And we'd like to see them do that. It's going to benefit them very greatly if they work through this and they get through this. But person A is just being a little heavy right here, or would benefit. Person B could benefit from person A just, lightening up a little bit or backing up. So that's kind of the thing here. They don't want you to mess this up. This is building quite nicely. It is being constructed. Your love corner is working towards some kind of goal. Okay, they do show like literally blocks being stacked. You're working on goals here. Very important. So that was a very specific message. I hope you guys make good sense and use of that information there. Now, I did promise you guys an angel protection card. We're going to do that right here and see where they go with that. That's exchanging gifts. So this is very karmic. This is a give and take, getting out what you put in, and I'm just looking at the different corners to see where to attach this to. I don't think it's really attached to any specific corner. A little bit in work. You're really getting back what you put in, and this is just kind of universal law, really, just to kind of like generalize. You get back what you put into things, whether it's relationships, your work, your health. This is a return on investment. Exchanging gifts. They want you to be very generous in the month of March. Would benefit you very well. Whatever you do in March, just know that March is going to have a very boomerang-like effect, especially for my Cancers. That affects everybody, like I said, universal law, but they're bringing it in specifically for Cancer here. So that's letting me know that the polarity is going to be strong in the month of March. So really try to do right, because if you're on the other side of karma, that boomerangs back too, and not in a pleasant way that we want. So I know all my Cancers are going to do right things in March and be and probably have a really great April because of it, or May, June, July, etc. summertime. So that's where we're going to wrap up here for Cancer. Thank you so much for joining. Please remember to like and subscribe so you see the future videos. I do these every single month, guys. I also do love readings on the 7th of every single month. Liking and subscribing will make sure that you see all these videos. I also do a mid-month update right in the middle of the month, so make sure you do that. I will see you guys soon. Have a great March, would you? I'll see you soon. Later.